Hello everyone, my name is Rainer and welcome back to another episode of Luxury Utopia in Oxygen Not Included. In the last episode we started with an all setup, which we have on our second planetoid. We're bringing over water and oxygen to the second planetoid, where we now have Bunny, who has an Atmos dock, and we are starting to set up this all setup. In this episode, I just want to basically finish this all setup, and I want to start sending over resources back to the other planetoid where we're going to use that oil and the natural gas that we also get from the setup. We're not gonna do much with it, we're just gonna store it for now. But that is basically the idea of today's episode. So let's start here looking at what we still need to do. We still need to build a couple of things, so I'm gonna let Bunny work on that. And we also need to clean up this is highest priority, but also we need to set up our liquid. We're getting the water from the other planetoid, as I said. We're getting packets of 10 kilograms of water per second, and that is a lot more than this oil well can actually use. If we look at what the description says, it requires 1000 grams per second of water when in use. And when it is venting, it's actually not using water at all. So if we pump over 10 kilograms of water, it will back up. Now, typically that is not really an issue, but I want to use the cooling capacity of this water in this contraption and not here when it's going down. No, I know these pipes are insulated, but they're not perfectly insulated. So what I'm going to do, first of all, is set up a valve. We want to limit the amount of water that is going to go down. So let's turn this around. We're going to move this pipe to here instead, and then down here. And we can deconstruct these pipes. So that's the first part, and we're going to limit this to lower than 10 kilograms of water per second. In here, we also want to use that water. As I said, we want to cool stuff down with it. So I'm going to go down. I'm going to go over. We're still not in the contraption here, but I think from this space on, we want to switch over to radiant pipes. So I'm going to make them out of lead. We're going to go in here. We're going to go down. And then down here, I also want to use the remaining capacity because we're cooling down natural gas here, which doesn't have a lot of heat capacity. It has a very low heat capacity actually, but we're going to go down here where we're also going to cool down the oil a bit. And then we're going to go back up where we will go into a sedimentary rock is okay. We will go into the oil well. So that should be the first pipe. That should be the water. I don't want it to connect just yet. Let me actually split it up at the top here. There. All right. So that is the incoming water. We have oil going out. So let's also set up that. We're going back to insulated pipes. I'm going to go in here. We're going to jump over, of course. We're going to go up here. We need to jump over again. We need to go all the way up here to the left because I want to go into this input. I'm going to go down here just like that. This should already do it. We have a couple of things here that we cannot construct. So we also have to deconstruct this tile in order to go down here. And I think if we deconstruct this, we can already reach everything. But I'm also going to deconstruct some more pieces here so that we can actually lower this floor a bit. Should I? Yeah, I can also deconstruct these here. Why not? Actually, let's do that also as a higher priority. So now we can build some ladders, and we're gonna make a floor at this level actually, just like the ladders on this side. And then of course we also need some bridges. We need a liquid bridge right there, and we need one here. So that should be the liquids taken care of. We can actually connect this here because I'm going to cut off the connection somewhere else. Deconstruct these as well. Okay. I'm going to cut off the connection right there for now. Then we also have natural gas in here. It's going to be not that hot because we're immediately cooling it here. Maybe, let me think. Because what I could do actually is make a loop like this, and then we're really cooling the natural gas. So all the natural gas that we're getting from here is actually going to be a decent temperature. But since we're going to add it to our natural gas storage, it doesn't really matter that much. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make normal gas pipes. I think what I'm going to do is I am going to lead it a little bit through the oil to give up the chill that we get from the coolness here. We're cooling this down actually to cool down the well, but the cool natural gas, it's a bit of a waste, so we're also going to bring it back down into the oil where we're going to heat it up a little bit again. Trust me, this is gonna work. So we're going to go down here like that. That should be okay. Then we go to here, and from here on we can go back to insulated. Sedimentary rock should be okay. We follow the line of the... Oh, we cannot do that. So we are going to jump over and then over here, and that's a little bit ugly. Let me think. Are we going to go via here? Yeah, let's go via here. This is going to have a slightly alternative path, but it's okay. And then we go into there. We can deconstruct these. And then we need one bridge to jump over right there. So that is the gas and the liquid lines all set up. Gas I also want to cut off for now. But we do need to empty this first because we are going to get, I don't know, we have some carbon dioxide in here. Yeah, I do need to pump this empty. I don't want to do that too early because then the oil well will overheat. I know it goes up to 2000 degrees, but if you're using this in a vacuum, it will still heat up quite quickly. But first we need to clean this up and then close this area off. So I will let Bunny work on this for now, and I'll see you when this is a little bit further progressed. Actually, what we can do on the main planetoid as well, while my dupes are here digging out the slime and everything, they're still working on the big parts. We can use this area, this storage, to store the crude oil that we get from the main planet. As I said, I want to store that. I do want to... I don't think I want to put everything through here because I noticed that these liquid reservoirs, they do not really care about what goes in first, has to go out last. So if you put in some germy other liquid in here, it might be that it just jumps over immediately and it actually exits this contraption without being cleaned. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to only use this for polluted water instead of for everything. So that means we need to have a bridge right there. And once that is built, I can cut this off, and then I don't want everything to go this way. What I do want to do is bring this line down because we are going to come out of here. And this is going to come from there. Now let's just bring them together. I'm just gonna make a liquid bridge again, because this line will always have priority and everything that comes onto it has to wait for the other stuff. That is just how I want to set this up. And once this bridge is here, I can connect. Actually, can I connect this right now? I guess I can. There's no stuff coming in anymore. So if I make this, it's not gonna be an issue. So yeah, once this is built, I should already get the, well, when the oil comes over, I should already get it into our system. And that leaves us with the natural gas, which also comes out, and we can actually just connect it to this line because this also brings over natural gas. So I can just, whoa, okay. I can just do it like this. Don't need a bridge because this line is never completely full, and it's just going to go in there. So that is very simple. Yeah, let's see how Bunny is doing. Seems like she hasn't done a lot here yet. Oh yeah, I did a lot of high assignments up here. Why is she doing this? Let's make this all a 4. Bunny, come on. This is not the stuff you should be doing now. And then I can set up a couple more ladders here. I can set up some tiles here because this is going to be a new floor. But yeah, I want her to actually work on this first, and especially on the lower part. So everything down here needs to be done first, and that means we can close this off and we can start setting this up properly. Should I make that a 9? Let's make it an 8 actually. Don't go too ridiculous. And then as a 7 we can do all of this stuff. And that means this should be done first. Alright, now we're gonna wait until she's actually done with this. Alright, this is already looking a lot better. But we still need to set up power. I totally forgot about that. Okay, we still need a power line down. We can use this line, but it's already at 965 watts. So what I'm going to do, as we have all this LED, so what I'm going to do as well, and Bunny is going to have a lot of tasks, is add power lines. And we're going to do that as a 7, I guess. I'm going to add them, merge them here, go up here, merge this one, and then we're going to go up. And then we have to exchange all of these lines as well. Everything out of LED. We should have enough. And that means our plug slugs are going to eat some of the cobalt, I guess. Oh, I guess we're going to get a little bit more power from them. Go up, over, and here. And then these also exchange this as well. Alright, that's a lot of tasks for Bunny. She's already going ham with the power lines. Is that the... Why is she not doing the bottom part here? Is she not being able to get over here? Oh wait, this ladder needs to be done. And now we have some crap here drop down. Let's clean that up as well. Totally forgot, otherwise she cannot reach this ever. And I think we're just gonna add another Atmos suit dock here as well. As a backup, I know I didn't do that before, but let's just do it. Let's make that as a 6. It's not the highest priority. And then here also as a, well, this can be a 7. We make one more Atmos suit. Oh wow, this looks really different now. That was an update. I didn't see this yet. But it's more about fashion, I guess. Huh. I need to check more of these devices to see if more has changed. But yeah, now finally Bunny is taking care of the bottom side here. So we can start closing it off at some point. So in the meantime, the liquid valve here is also built. And as we said, the oil well can take 1000 grams per second. But since it's not running always, when we're venting it and when we're releasing the natural gas from it, it's not running. I'm going to set this a little bit lower at like 975. That way we don't back up too much of the precious cooling water. And once this is all closed off, we're just gonna... I also need to clean this out, of course. Let's make that also a 7. Remove all this debris. But first we want to build everything and then I'll close it off and we can start using the oil well to pump in some oil. Because these lines can come at a later time. We're not going to be completely full immediately. And we're not using a lot of power at the moment. So it should be fine to use the devices down below with the regular cable still attached. Alright, the bottom part here is now ready. So we can start closing this off. The carbon dioxide will filter, we get out with the pump here. There's no debris here anymore. Yep. So let's make this. We're gonna make this a nice cube. So we're gonna cut it off here. Let's just hope she doesn't build it from the inside for some reason. this should definitely be done from the outside. All right, this is now closed off, which means we can start activating the oil well, which will drop oil at the bottom and it will start overpressurizing. While we clean this up, that can be done at the same time, I guess. I could actually make this a normal tile. Do I want to do that? Because that means that the oil will drop here first, and it will also help cool down the oil well itself. That might actually make sense. I'm just going to do that with an airflow tile. Let's make it an airflow tile, actually. I hope that oh wait, this debris will fall down, right? All right, this tile now doesn't have any debris anymore, so let's make this an airflow tile. And then see that the oil is actually going to also touch this well and cool down the well by being there. I don't know if I should also make this an airflow tile, because in the end the oil will flow down anyway. I hope this goes well with the hydro sensor actually, but I think it will. Let's make that one also an airflow tile. All right, now we're ready to set this up. So let's go up top here and connect this liquid pipe, and that will bring in water. We will make it smaller packages of 975 grams of water, which will flow down. They start cooling everything because right now it's still pretty hot. Well, for this system, it will not be hot, but the liquid will come down and it will cool down the area. Well, not here. But here in this radiant area, we will cool down everything pretty fast, actually. Radiant pipes are really powerful. Even the oil will be cooled down quite significantly. And there we go, the oil well is on. Is dropping the oil on here, which will help also cool down this oil well, I guess. The oil comes out at 90 degrees. So the oil well will not be much hotter than that. Right now it will stop occasionally because there's not enough liquid in here. But once we have a small backup, it should not be a big issue anymore. Anyway, now that we actually have this oil here, we can start pumping this out. So what I want to see next is we have here an insulated gas pipe. Let's make sure that a little bit more is built. And then I want to gas pipes. Want to cut off a gas pipe. Oh, no, actually, I can just make. We cannot make a high pressure vent, but we don't have high pressure. I want to sand off a bit of plastic, I guess. Am I too late? Am I gonna be too late? I don't think so. So let's be quick here. We sent over some manufactured materials, plastic, and we're gonna send over. Let's make it 1 ton. Should be more than enough for now. This is at a 9, so I would imagine that this will be done quite quickly, but Liam is sleeping. Who is our... Oh wait, Devin is doing it. Come on, Devin. We need this plastic pronto. I guess he's not doing it. Liam, current errand. Here he's going. Alright. Once it's in there, we drop it so that our auto sweeper can bring it over. And now we have plastic here. So we did build the pipes. We have it until here. So now if we go in here, we don't have the plastic yet. There it is. We just built this here as a 9, and that means that everything that we pump out will be vented exactly here. Because we want to make this a vacuum. We don't want the carbon dioxide in here and send it over into our natural gas area. That would be bad, but it's being built here. Very nice. And then we can connect this up. There we go. We just say this once it's below 20,000, so it will pump always. Here we go, natural gas coming out. It is cooling the oil because it is quite cool when it is pumped. And so we are venting it here. And here's already the first natural of a carbon dioxide that we're pumping out. That's absolutely not what we want to have in our natural gas storage. So this should be pure natural gas. How are the temperatures right now? The oil well is getting a little bit hot, but it's below the 2000 degrees that it can be. So that is all fine. the fact that we're making this a vacuum is not going to help. In fact, let's actually wait a little bit longer with this until we are at a higher back pressure. At 75%, we will release pure natural gas. So before that, oh, did I cut the water line? Whoops, my bad. Continue. Oh, we actually went back here. Yeah, we have a couple of big packages now. So this is gonna be the backlog, I guess. Temperatures are actually pretty okay. The gas pump and the liquid pump can go up to 125, and this can up to 2000 or almost 2000, so that's all good. And since we have a bit of atmosphere, it will never go up that high. But yeah, as I said, let's wait until the back pressure is up a bit higher so that we don't make this a vacuum too quickly. We already are at quite low atmospheric pressure, and we don't want to make it too low. In the meantime, on our main planetoid, we also made this liquid line all done already. So once we have the oil, it will go in here, and we can cut off this liner as well, because that's just going to confuse. And we can remove this pipe. Deconstruct, we don't need that anymore. And then here, what we can do is if we detect polluted water and it's germy, I guess you have to do it in 2 steps. Polluted water, make it go into a second line, and then if it's germy, bring it in here, and otherwise, just bring it back over. Maybe I'm just gonna do all polluted water goes through here. That will be the easiest way, I guess. But I'm not gonna do that right now. In the meantime, they're carving away the side here. I did add a mod that allows me to dig up neutronium. It doesn't give me any resources, or does it give me sand? I don't even know. I don't think the sand came from the neutronium, but I want to have this a nice smooth line at the side so I can make a nice smooth base here. I don't want to have this all chunky, and especially at some parts down here, the neutronium goes very, very far. So it's taking a lot of duplicant time actually to carve this away, but it's just because I want to make this a very, very nice base. And a very nice base doesn't allow for nasty neutronium edges. In the meantime, we also cleared out all of this. We have a bit of water here, so we have to make sure to not pump this up here. This has to be primed with crude oil and not water. So we're not gonna pump from the bottom yet. At some point we will, of course, and then everything will also go via this filtration system. This will be our main liquid line where we filter all our liquids. So all the liquids will go onto this line where we nicely store it and then use it from these storages. Let's see, back pressure at 35%. The temperature is still at a cozy 86%, 86 degrees. So nothing to worry here. I think I'm gonna enable this gas pump again, because this can raise in temperature quite a lot to 2000 degrees, as I said. And we can actually, if necessary, release the back pressure earlier by lowering this setting. So if we are in a vacuum, I'm just going to lower this to 20%, and then Bunny comes over and we have pure natural gas in this area. All right, we are below 100 micrograms here, so this should be a vacuum fairly quickly. I noticed that this spot here is indeed pretty difficult to pump out. Here it's almost a vacuum actually, and here we're still at 25, but it shouldn't make a super big difference. I guess the airflow tiles here with the oil still on top are making it a little bit more tricky to get this pumped out. Is this already a vacuum? This is a vacuum, so we need to wait for this to also become a vacuum. I think it's just deleting itself slowly, and there we are. We have a vacuum. So now we can set this to a above. Let's make it 2000 grams. If we are above, then we can pump out the natural gas and we can deconstruct this. So now we are in a vacuum, but because the oil that exits at 90 degrees is still here, the oil well stays at 90 degrees, which is well within the temperature limits of this oil well. So actually there's no hurry to get this back pressure down to 75% or something like that. But this has to be deconstructed fairly quick. And we need to start making our liquid lines because we are getting quite a bit of crude oil here. I might just, well, we do need to have the liquid pipes first, which are not done yet. We are fairly far, but we need to make all of them first. And once they are done, I can actually lower this value and then pump out a little bit of oil so we can prime our oil filter for the storage on the other planetoid. Alright, we are up to the back pressure of 76%. 76%. So Bunny is going to come over and empty this, which will release a lot of natural gas. Well, a lot, but it's going to be very, very hot. You can see it's 180 degrees here. But if we look here, it's going to be a lot more temperate. It's going to take a while. So this is going to be quite hot for a bit, but that's because the pressure is so low here. Once this is cooled down for the first time, we will be just fine. How much? Yeah, the liquid that's coming in is raising in temperature a little bit, but temperatures are going down already again. And now we're also getting quite a bit of crude oil, so we need Bunny to hurry with those liquid pipes. She's also working on the gas pipes. I gave them the same priority, but we are getting very, very close. Alright, here we go. The last liquid pipes have been installed, so we can actually say, let's say, activate this liquid pump for a little bit. It's not running for some reason. Did I disconnect something? I hope this is disabled by automation grip. So if it's below 2000 kilograms. Did I not hook up the automation? Oh my god, I was afraid I didn't build this. Okay, that makes sense. So now we should be pumping a little bit, and that's already enough. We just need to prime our system. So we're getting a bit of crude oil out of here. 63 degrees is perfectly fine, and this should exit at our main planetoid. So let's see that happen. Alright, so here it goes into the output here. And if we then go to our main planetoid, we should see it appear here as it does. And it should go up, up. It should not go in here because we have our polluted water here, which will prevent it from going in there. And here we still have an empty system where we have our next storage. So it should move nicely in there. Alright, it passes this as expected. And now we will see oil going in here. 1000 milligrams will flow in here and the rest will be in here. So we have a little bit of crude oil now. Our filter is primed, so nothing else should go in here now, which is exactly what we want. In the meantime, Bunny has been continuing. The natural gas pipe is also set up now. I did set the automation to a little bit of a higher pressure. I think it's fine to make this a little bit higher. It doesn't matter. More pressure means that we can cool this area down more because we're cooling down the area with this water, which doesn't really gain that much temperature here. But once in the oil, it will get to the oil temperature very quickly. Oil temperature is at, yeah, it stays at like 61 degrees. So that is the temperature we're getting out of here with the super cool water that we're getting in. Yeah, it's like 15 degrees when it comes in. We are cooling this area down a lot. There's also natural gas, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, this is now at, once this is above about 800 kilograms, oil has a maximum of 870. So we could make this 850, but I want to check actually how high the pressure can get here with this airflow tile, because airflow tiles, they do repel liquids, as we know. So I'm wondering how high can we actually get here. So that's the last thing I want to check before we end off the episode. Yeah, the plug stocks have been feasting a bit on the normal wire cobalt here, so they're releasing a bit of hydrogen, which will in the end flow up here. We're not gonna do much with it. I guess we also have some hydrogen here. I guess it is what it is. We also need to start tending on our crops again. We are using our swamp chart hearts now, and I would prefer that not to happen too much. So let's set these at a little bit higher priority. So Bunny works on that as well. We have our second atmosphere dock set up, so let's also connect that. like that. And we need oxygen in there as well. So let's do that as well, like so. I guess those are at a 9. It is what it is. I guess, see, we also have our atmosphere already. Let's sweep that and deliver it here. All right, so these plug plugs will generate a little bit more power thanks to that, but we're also using more power, and I think that's going to be the story of the next episode. We're using quite a bit more power here. We have a liquid pump which will be running for a bit, 240 watts. This will be running almost constantly at 240 watts, and we have a gas pump which will also pump quite often. Well, not quite often, a lot less than the other two, but this is another 240 watts, so we increased the loads on this network, on these batteries, on these plug slugs actually by quite a bit. So we need to have an extra power source. And you maybe can already guess it, but we've been making a lot of glass. And I think we're going to make our first solar panels on Grossini. Alright, we're getting very close to the threshold, so I think we should be fine even with this repelling airflow tile. And at that point, our liquid pump will be pumping on and off liquid to the main planetoid. So here we're gonna see it. 6, 7, 8, 9. And here we go, 800. And there we go. Anyway, we're going to get now bursts of crude oil coming over. So yeah, we'll be storing a lot of oil and it will be a pretty decent temperature. Actually, do I want to cool it down? Because we want to actually turn this into petroleum, which will mean heating it up. I don't know. We're storing it, I guess. It's fine. So yeah, we reached our goal for this episode. The power in the batteries is going down a bit and our coal generator has to keep up. So as I said, we need to increase our power generation here to make sure that the fridges stay working and things like that. I guess the coal generator can keep up, because even if everything is running, it is generating, well, it's not generating as much power as needed actually. 240 plus 240 is 480, plus the fridge is 500, so we have 100 watts extra. But if the gas pump kicks in, and it's actually kicking in right now, it's going in here, soaking up a little bit of the heat. I guess sometimes the gas is a bit hotter. Interesting. But yeah, we released another burst of natural gas, and that is also pumped over to our main planetoid, where we store this, of course, in our natural gas storage, which is almost at 700 kilograms per tile, which is crazy. But yeah, we are generating so much more natural gas than we need. Alright, that was it for the video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't done that yet, and see you in the next video.